breaking news that's coming in. IndiGo has revised the pay structure of the pilots. Additional allowance has been restructured, and what we are looking at is take-home pay is likely to go up for the pilots. And what we are gathering is that this has come amid the FDTL adjustment. And sources are telling us that, IndiGo has revised the pay structure of pilots. So this is after a massive, fiasco that had happened of the flight cancellations, and they were called last minute. And now they are, revising the pay structure for pilots. So this is a big development that's coming in. And I'm being joined by my colleague Danish. Danish, please take us through this key development that has come in and what does it mean?
Well, NDTV Profit has exclusively learned from sources that IndiGo has revised the pay structure of its pilots, and this new structure will be applicable from January 2026. And this has come amid the entire IndiGo fiasco that we have noticed in the past 1 month. And if we look at the overall take-home pay of the pilots, it might not have that major, major bump as far as it is concerned. But if we look at the certain heads, which have been increased in terms of the additional allowance for the corporate crew, for the both captain and the first officer. The domestic layover allowance has been hiked by 50%, and earlier the captain was getting 2,000 rupees for the domestic layover, and now it has been increased to 3,000, and similarly for the first officer it has been increased to 1,500 from 1,000. And if you look at the night allowance, earlier there was a different mechanism which was evaluating the night allowance for the pilots, but now the captains will be getting 2,000 rupees per night hour, and the first officer will get rupees 1,000 per night hour. And very interestingly, the airline has also, come out with a tail swap allowance, and this will be given to the pilots when their aircraft is changed during duty hours. So the captains will be paid 1,500 rupees per tail swap, and the first officers will get 750 rupees per tail swap. So overall, if we see, it will be a good thing in terms of monetary wise for the pilots, and moreover, probably this will also have a good positive impact on pilots as the pay structure, as the allowance will be increasing, and this will definitely give the pilots, more confidence in the airline and more trust in the airline, because we know that whatever happened in the past month, everyone, not only the passengers or the government, but even the people working at IndiGo also had a tough time. So this is a good news for the pilots, and definitely this will boost the morale of both the pilots, of the captain and the first officer of IndiGo.
So it will boost their morale, rightly pointed out. And also going ahead, do you expect airlines to revisit, the base pay structure as well, or will the compensation continue to be tweaked through variable, allowances?
See, this will totally depend on the number of flights that the airline is flying every day, and the kind of the feedback of the customers, or the overall market share of the number of flights that they operate. So it totally depends on the profits. And in the past, we have seen that IndiGo, when it had a profitable year, it had given almost 1 to 1.5 months of extra pay to its employees. But on the other hand, in that similar year, as far as I remember, Singapore Airlines also made an all-time high profit, and they gave bonus of 7 months to their employees. So there is a lot of parity and a lot of difference if we compare Indian Airlines and the global airlines. But I feel that the way the market is right now, and the way the ATF prices are volatile, and the geopolitical risks are there, so it will totally depend the kind of money that the airlines make. So it will depend whether they will be able to give more pay to the pilots or not. Because if you look at the other airlines, apart from IndiGo, they have lesser number of aircraft, and they have more pilots on a payroll, and not everyone is getting to fly the desired number of hours that they want to fly, and that is why there's lower promotions that are happening inside the airlines. So it will depend on the airlines on a case-to-case basis.